boys. Here we go. Set. 260.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Here's Ajayi. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Ajayi. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Gets it to Gordon. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Drops it off to Ajayi. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 20. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, You'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45. Slow.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again. Just like last week, each game is its own entity, treated as such.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. He completes it to Tate. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what'll happen? They'll flat out take over this game.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. From the gun, here's Stafford. Eluding the pressure right. And some room to maneuver. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a shake and bake by Ajayi. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
From the red zone now, Stafford completes it to Ajayi. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now it's Ajayi. Not enough there for a 1st. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Here we go. 11.
This is Ajayi. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play. And that's going to lead them to 4th down. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They run for it with Ajayi. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. Jay Ajayi stops short of the first. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. It's Big Vince Williams who made
swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the 2nd quarter. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Throwing now is Mahomes. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Tate. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Concluding it here, Marvin Jones. And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coach is screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw on second down is Stafford. The 20. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Now a toss play. It's Ajayi. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Play fake there to Hunt. Now Mahomes. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail. So. Z.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Steps away to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
So. Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Now here's Mahomes. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Mahomes now to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Sean Robinson. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start out on the ground with a jive. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Justin Houston in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. Room here to run. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now, standing just outside his own goal line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And now here comes Kansas City. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
We got three, fellas. Ace!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Dustin Colquitt now. He's been terrific so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. A 2nd quarter score from Carson. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. He hits Riddick underneath. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
He's got his man. This is Tate. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Stafford now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10. To the air again, Stafford. Caught right side, Tate. He's to the 10, and he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds, because the key is to create hesitancy on the defense.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jay Ajayi with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And it's now 14-0. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think just...
And pressure coming, and they got him once again.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them.
Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just see the bag, quit out that jaw jackery. Don't even me that I don't want none of it. It's bad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Y'all is a lazy, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's. Bitches guess over baby. Put the bread on me. Bet on my bacon. Big it flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas. Head back to my old ways. Cop a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything? All that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it done and spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the Dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, about the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. The Ferragamo store. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. Acting like a 9/11 folks. Matt back, liquor clean. Dead president and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a penny hoe.
Rub your empty pockets. I don't do that. You're my prisoner. You do what I tell you to do. Get over it.